everyone, welcome back to RC Camping and Crawling. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own tire chains. I've had a couple comments now asking how I made them and for some instructions so they can make them themselves. So I figured I would go through that today. It's fairly easy, it's straightforward, it just takes a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, but the result is a functional tire chain that you can remove and install. That costs almost nothing by the time you're said and done with it. And I think you could actually scale this up or down to like a 1/24th, up to a 1/12th, whatever size you want it, as long as you could find the correct size elastic band. So this truck already has them. So what I'm going to do is show you how to install them on this wheel. So this wheel is off of the TRX 4M K10 pickup truck. And it's a little, the wheels only, or the rim rather, is a 1-inch, but I think the tire is a 1.3 approximately. It's about the same size as the Toyota there. So we'll use this one today. Now the first thing you need, besides a truck, pick up a bag of elastic bands. I just grabbed an assortment bag, and what you're looking for is bands that fit kind of like this. So just inside of the diameter of the wheel. The reason you want this is you want the chains to kind of wrap around the edge of the tire. That way they stay on. If the elastic band is too big, obviously they just pop off the tire. If it's too small, it's going to get on the way on the inside where all your suspension and steering components are. So once you've picked your elastic bands, I got a couple here that'll fit just great. So we'll put those to the side. Now you want to go to a craft store or somewhere where you can get just some chains, some bead chain. So I found this stuff here. It looks like a chain. It's a little shinier than you'd probably want, but you can kind of rough it up, paint it, or or just drive it, and the polish will probably start to come off. So this is what I used. The next step is you're going to want to find a appropriate size for the chain. So kind of line it up so it goes over the lip a little bit on both sides, like that. Going to want to add a link or two just to be safe. Right there. Cut that guy. There we are. Now, if you want to make these a little quicker, you can grab like a little measuring device, something like this. But the idea is you want to create a few of these chains. So they're approximately, 5 centimeters there, it looks like. So on this vehicle here, on these chains rather, I had 7 chains per wheel, which looks about right. It kind of looks scale from some of the pictures I saw on the internet of real chains. All we have to do now is just repeat this process 7 times. So line it up, get your kind of 5 centimeters. It's easier if you add an extra link just to be safe. Cut it. And you'll actually repeat this for 7 times for all 4 tires. Okay. So we have our 2 elastic bands, our 7 pieces of chain. This is just for the 1 tire. Okay, and now we can start putting this together. So, like I said, the idea is you need to have these looped around like this and like that. They don't have to be exact because an elastic band is going to hold them in place. So, you got a little bit of forgiveness there in that sense. But it looks like this one's kind of perfect. So what we're going to do, and what you'll do for all of these, is you're going to open up the ends. Just like that. Once you have the end open, grab your elastic band, put it over, and close the end. And you can kind of play with it to make it, smooth and kind of perfect. But that's for the one. So I'll grab the next one now. Cut it open. There should actually be, on these chains, there should be a spot where they're kind of pressed together. So you should be able to just kind of pop them open. As you do a few of them, you'll get pretty quick at it. 2. Three. There we go. So we got 3 now. Seven chains tied on. So now what you want to do is you do this really any way you want, but we're just going to do the same thing with the other side now, the other elastic band. So we'll kind of start at 1. Take your time when you're doing this because you need to make sure you don't get the chains twisted, if that makes sense. You want them to line up so they don't get twisted. So here we go. Open that up. Grab another elastic band. That. Close it up. One down. So now see how they go in order? Got to make sure you keep the order the same on the opposite side. That's the only kind of tricky thing about this. Next one. There you go. That's 2. Okay, so now we have the chains tied together. So now our next job is you just want to get these evenly distributed. Now to do this, the easiest way is to actually mount them to the tire. So I'll mount this on the tire. So now you'll just kind of take your time. This part's pretty critical. Well, critical in the sense of RC tire chains, but it's important to get these nice. You want to make them, you want to make it nice and even. No sense going to all this work of doing this and kind of not being happy with the result. So I think that looks pretty good. The same thing on the inside, which will probably be fairly close. There we go. So now we're attached on both sides. Now what I did on this one is I then tied a knot around each one of these to stop it from slipping. I'm not sure if that's actually necessary. I'm almost wondering now if I can just take these pliers and just kind of pinch them down. So it doesn't quite, when you pinch them down, it doesn't quite hold it perfectly secure. So I think we're going to need to tie the rubber. I'll still end up pinching it a bit just because I feel like this is the right thing to do, but so if you have them attached like that, they'll probably still move a little bit. It's probably not going to be terrible, but they will still move. So what I did then is I had, with the extra elastic bands, I would just tie these off. So just get some kind of knot around them to help So I'm pretty sure actually if you just did a really simple knot and you just did two, one on each side of that, that's probably the way to go. Like this. Yeah, because that's the easiest. So we just simply trim this off. So now what we've got is the chains pinched down, and we've got a little knot on each end, each side of the chain. So that chain not going anywhere, as they say. So I actually might do that different than my first set, but I think this is actually better because this is a way easier knot to tie. You know, you can tie this knot in a second. You'll end up using quite a few elastic bands doing this, but you know, is what it is. Okay, so there we are. So it's definitely a little fiddly, but it's pretty relaxing. And yeah, so that's how you connect your tire chains. So what I did is put the chains on there like you saw, pinched it on the elastic band, and then a little knot, just a simple knot on each end, which will stop the chains from moving. Now you'll just want to repeat the same process on the back. Now with the back, make sure you're staying fairly far out, because on these cars, you know, you need to have room for all these components as this thing spins. So just keep that in mind. You don't want to pull them in too tight, because then you'll end up hitting these knuckles and things. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. There is one last step I recommend, is once you're done all of them, get your trusty glue, which mine is sealed shut. But get your trusty super glue and just put a super small dab on each of the knots. Do a better job than that, but just put a little dab. Won't need much. And actually it's better to have a little less because this stuff kind of dries white. So you don't want to have, you don't have too much on there. But yeah, you just want to kind of make sure you got it all over these knots. And just a little tiny bit of this will stop those rubber knots from coming undone because they're already pretty grippy together. But yeah, so that's it. That's how you build your very own DIY tire chains. And what's cool about this is, yeah, you can scale this up to, you can get bigger chains. If you wanted to have a bigger chain on there, you could put smaller chains. You can put up smaller elastic bands for smaller tires, bigger for bigger tires. It's pretty cool. And the nice thing is it's fairly relaxing to do. It's cheap. And yeah, it's just a nice kind of fun thing to do with the hobby. So from there, of course, you just bolt them on. And there you go. And I actually think I did a better job of this set than the original set. But these things have been, I've used these for hours in the snow and on the ice and the rocks. They still haven't come apart. So there you go. So once I got them together, let them dry, throw them on the car or RC truck, I guess, throw them on there, have a good time. And then when you're done, they'll just peel right off and you can store them. So in the summer, you can drive your vehicle like normal. But there we are. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. I hope this tip helps you, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you found it helpful, feel free to give me a like and subscribe if you haven't done already. Throw a comment in the description, or sorry, a comment in the comment section if you have any questions. And until next time, thank you so much for watching.